Our next guest is one of the most talented actors to grace the stages of Broadway. He's performed in Sweeney Todd, Wicked, plus he originated and won a Tony for the role of Christian in Moulin Rouge. Right now, you can see him in Chess. It's playing at the Imperial Theater on Broadway right here in New York City. Please welcome Aaron Tveit.
Wow.
That's like, just so you know, as a host on this show, that's like K-pop level. That's like when a K-pop artist comes in, it's like a different frequency, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And that is the same thing. Do you get that everywhere you go?
Oh, yeah, I paid all these people to be here, so thank you for that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Wow.
Wait,
Hi.
so since we saw you last, you got your picture up at Sardi's, right?
Yes, I did.
That's a big, tell everybody if they don't know.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, wow. You know, what's so funny about the Sardi's pictures is you kind of never know what they're going to look like.
Yeah, you kind of look like you could have been cast in Barbie.
Yeah. That one, I walked in and I saw the picture and I knew exactly the picture that they were referencing. And I was like, wow, this is actually so specific, but great. But no, it's such a cool thing. You know, much like when I won a Tony Award, which is another amazing thing, it was the most feeling of being seen by this community that, you know, I'd wanted to be a part of my whole life. And it was like a moment where they said, You're a part of this. We see you. Thank you. Great. So the Sardi's thing felt the same, right? It's it's this thing that is so iconic, and you know, when your picture goes up, they give you really good placement for the first couple months. So I had a lot of friends and family that went in, and my picture was like right behind the maitre d', and so they saw it and took pictures. And
do you slowly make your way to the bathroom?
They slowly they rotate everyone around. I don't know where I am now, but
are they easy to move? Because I would totally mess with people.
I would just somewhere else.
Yeah, easy to just let's switch these out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're just hung on the wall. I'll check it out there.
That was like when I first had my first record out. I went into like every Walmart, every store, and I just put mine in front of everyone.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's good.
Like, you should buy this.
Good.
How's Chess going? We had Lea here.
Yes, she's
raving. It's like one of her favorite things she's ever done.
Yeah, she's amazing. You know, she and I have known each other for a long time, but never gotten the chance to work together, so that's been incredible.
Yeah.
But the show's fantastic. You know, we opened in November, and so now we're really kind of in the flow of it, 5 or 6 months in. And, you know, it's this amazing show that has really resonated with people for 4 decades. You know, it first came out in the 80s. It didn't have a huge success on Broadway, but the music is kind of so iconic that people have been fans of it for so long.
Yeah.
You know, Benny and Bjorn from ABBA wrote the music, and Tim Rice wrote the lyrics. So it's this amazing combination of these incredible pop songs by real pop writers, you know, set to a theatrical narrative. So it has a really interesting mix that I think is why it's resonated with people for so long.
It has to be the coolest compliment in the world, too, because Lea told me, she was like, who are going to get to play this part? Like, everybody was thinking who could possibly do it with the range vocally and just the range of the character in general.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're the only name that was spoken. that has to make you feel so good.
It was very. She's shared that story a couple times that she and John Groff were
because it's a badass story.
It's pretty cool, yeah. So
you sound like a tool saying it yourself. So let others say it.
Thank you. No,
it's very cool.
It's a tough show. It's a tough part. I think it's the hardest vocal thing I've ever done.
Yeah,
which is you know, but you know how it is. Like there's sometimes.
No, I don't.
No, you do. Think about when you're on tour or something, and you have your show that you're doing, and you say you have like one song that you know is like really tough, and you're like, okay, I got to get through this. Well, for me, that's like at the end of my show, right? I have this like 10-minute stretch in the second act where I sing, you know, kind of these 2 songs back to back, and it's always like, okay, just get through that, but then you have this thing at the end. So it's a
yes, but the difference. Let me tell you the difference. You're being kind. Is on tour, I can look at them and go, not today, and we changed the key of that. So on tour, I can alter things. When you're a part of a group thing, you have to kind of stick to what it is. Like that's different.
You got to make it happen.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's a moment in the show where you're lifted up and dropped into pants. What?
Yeah.
How can you explain that?
Yeah, so the opening number of the second act is this very iconic 80s dance pop song, One Night in Bangkok. I don't know if you're familiar, but it's on, it's the song that people that know nothing about chess, they come in and they're like, oh, I know that song, because it's somehow on every 80s playlist. But it's this idea that, you know, my character's dealing with a lot of mental health issues, but in the second act, I'm kind of off my meds, and self-medicating in Bangkok. So if you
Yes.
kind of imagine a little bit of like Sam Rockwell in The White Lotus.
There you go.
But then you have to take that guy, and my job is to be a commentator for this World Chess Championship. So you have to take that guy and get him on screen to do his job. And so we had this idea that, you know, what if I'm kind of in various states of undress, and through the number, they're kind of propping me up, getting me dressed Weekend at Bernie's style to kind of be on camera to do my job. So that's where this all came from. And yeah, the ensemble, they lift me into my pants, and it gets a reaction every single night. And it's like one of our tried and true, we know we're gonna get a good response.
Have you ever missed one of the legs?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So I think let's do the math here. I think they said the other night we're about 200 shows in.
Yeah.
And I think I've missed 3 or 4 times.
Oh, that's
pretty
that's
good.
a good percentage.
Yeah, we're like
yeah.
98%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it happens, you know.
What happens when you miss the leg? What do you? You're just like,
So
never mind.
I think the most notable thing that happened was one day it really went awry because Murphy's Law, right? And so I had to move on, and you're just making these quick decisions in the moment. And I basically grabbed the pants, and I kind of made a thing out of it, and I threw them off stage into the wing. But then as soon as
So
I
no
did that,
pants day.
I had no pants. I was just like in, you know, my little Tom Cruise underwear
Yeah.
situation.
Risky business.
Very
All
risky
right.
business.
Yeah.
But as soon as I did that, I realized, oh, they're still gonna put my loafers on. And so for the whole second half of the song, I'm gonna have to dance a bit, and I'm gonna be in loafers, white socks, and white boxer
Which is
briefs.
great.
Yeah, but again, it was one of those
And
things
this
where
is
they-
why theater is awesome, because every show is different.
Absolutely
you know?
different, yeah.
And you might be at the one where you get
you might
risky
be there.
business and
So,
loafers.
That's right.
You know?
So that was a special night, but yeah, Murphy's Law, you know?
What a treat. Okay, we have to stop for another break. If you are in New York, be sure to see Aaron and Chess at the Imperial Theater on Broadway. Tickets are online, people. And the Chess 2025 Broadway cast recording, which is incredible, is available now digitally wherever you get your music, so go check that out.